all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice.
Welcome to www.killthatnoise.com. I'm your boy, the Cameron McMath. I got my man Joe Son with me, and today we have the pleasure of joining us. First team All-CAA, straight from Stony Brook, Mr. Ray Bolden. Appreciate you for joining us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How's everything going out there, man? How's everything going?
Man, just school and training, man. Pretty much a daily thing, but no complaints here, man. Happy to be doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for those that don't know, especially me myself, I had to look it up. Explain to the audience where exactly is Stony Brook?
Man, it's Stony Brook, New York, Long Island, man.
Long Island.
I'm from Texas, so I couldn't go into too much detail, but hey, man, Long Island, that's all I got for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So through your process, what ultimately led you to signing with Stony Brook?
Well, I wasn't too experienced, with football. I didn't start playing at an early age, like most of my peers. So when my high school career ended, I didn't really have the D1 schools that were willing to offer me. So I had some coaches that said I should probably take the junior college or prep school route, and I ended up going to junior college in California, and I got an extremely good coach, Coach Marty. He took me and showed me how to work, showed me what it took to be good. And I ended up getting some pretty nice offers, and things kind of fell through with transcripts and grades. And Coach Behrman was kind of there through the whole process and told me, regardless of what happened, they were going to try to do everything they could to help me get into, Stony Brook. And I ended up, getting cleared and getting other offers back. But, he was there through thick and thin. So I decided to stay loyal with them and ended up coming here.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. So being from Texas, you mentioned you from Texas, which is quote unquote known as the football capital of the country, right?
Yeah.
It's like most of those high schools are kind of like mini junior colleges themselves.
Yeah.
So explain to us, like, growing up in Texas, how did that benefit you and prepare you to be able to make that transition to the collegiate level?
It's just it's culture, man. Like, guys really, really do respect the game, and being, going to California and coming to New York, that's the one difference I noticed. Guys, that's just what it is. They respect the game. No one comes in with that, I've done this, I've done that.
Right.
We had our best players, we're the first ones out there, last ones to leave. And, I come here and people praise me for that. And to me, that's just, that's how it's supposed to be done. So
Right.
Yes, sir.
that's what I'm saying. It's just a whole different culture. Talent, came up here. Now, I can't lie. I thought, it wasn't going to be anything up here, but, talent's everywhere. I come to realize that, but it's just the approach of the game, I would say, is the biggest difference.
Man, so being from Texas, going to California, two of the most prominent football states in the country, then transitioning to New York, which is well known, especially being in the CAA for basketball and the schools and things like that. How was that feel and that transition for you?
At first it was a bumpy road for me, because at one point I didn't even know if my college career was going to continue, and then I got to Stony Brook, and just the adjustments from high school and junior college, it's a completely different ball game. Being on a Division I regimen where there's way more demands of you, academically, time-wise, football. You're not just playing football. You got film. You got younger guys to look after as an older guy, and the responsibilities just kicked up on me, and I wasn't really ready to begin with. And everyone says I have this good sophomore year and things like that, but I don't really think my numbers match what I was actually putting on film.
Right.
So I think in that way, it was more of like a facade, and people thought I was something that I really wasn't because my numbers were theirs. But I think my sophomore year is definitely more of a struggle than what people think. So.
Gotcha. So you mentioned Coach Marty, and then going back, let's go back to the 2014 season where I saw an interview you did that you thought you played your last snap of football. Talk about the support system and Coach Marty. What kind of influence has he had on your life?
Oh man, that he has really been, I would say, a father figure to me, and it's crazy because he's not much older than me, but he really was. He really did take me under his wing, and it wasn't just a football thing. Even after, he didn't know if I would continue playing football. He was always on me. And I flew back home to Texas, and I was training for something that might not even happen.
Right.
And he was a guy that was reaching out to me 2-3 times a week. Just staying on top of me, throwing little shots at me to make sure I'm still on top of what I need to be on top of. And even to this day, he still reaches out. Or he'll catch a clip of me, doing some rep, and he's like, "Oh, everybody thinks that looks good, but that's nothing right there, man. That's what you're supposed to be doing." So, he's definitely a guy that I truly value in my life, not just as football, but man to man. So,
definitely, man. Shout out to Coach Marty, man.
Shouts out. So I think we all need that mentor, that influence. So
exactly.
Coming into 2014, 2015. 2015-16 and moving forward, can you kind of explain to us the process? We know y'all won 5 games the past 2 years, but coming into this year, y'all were able to turn it around, and you and your class were kind of a big part of that. Can you kind of explain that transition and what that means for Stony Brook going forward?
I think when you have 22 seniors coming in, our coaches, they really emphasize that, and Coach P, you've seen him kind of not take a step back, but he was more willing to let us lead the team, and we held each other accountable, from we always talk about from top to bottom. And I told guys, man, I don't care if you're the walk-on freshman or a 6-year senior. Like I'm saying, if you see something you don't appreciate or you see something that's holding people back, speak up. And I've had that walk-on freshman, call me out on some stuff, and vice versa. So when you start seeing stuff like that, resonating throughout the team, you're heading in the right direction. There's way more, I love yous going around in the locker room than there probably should be. You know what I'm saying? You don't really expect that stuff in the locker room, but that was what we had became. We were becoming just a selfless group. Our guys weren't really leading, just on the field and through actions. There was how they were carrying themselves. It was the little things, going to class, eating right. It was just from top to bottom. And I told guys, that little stuff at the end of the day, it might not make a difference, but when it does, it's a special thing because you remain true to it. So.
Gotcha. Now, being that you're the senior, you talked about the leadership. What do you hope that you will leave with those guys going forward at Stony Brook?
Oh man, just being selfless, and it's such a small thing, and it's simple, and you hear guys say it all the time, but when you really look into what that means and truly apply it, man, like there's really nothing that can stop you, because when you fail, you fail together. There is no finger pointing, and then when you succeed, it's everybody's with you. So I feel we canceled out the outside noise. We knew that, last 3-4 years, we haven't won more than 6 games. No one was expecting that from us. So why put that pressure on ourselves? Right. We didn't have expectations regardless. So, guys just, like I said, we bought into each other, and it was a special year. And that's something I hope, I talk to when I do run into younger guys, like, keep that up, man. Work like you're trying to beat somebody, even if you're coming in as a starter. Hey, it don't work like that. Work like you're doing the chasing.
Right.
Yeah. So big ups to you guys and the coach for being able to allow you to be leaders that you could have been and things like that. But this year, if you don't mind speaking to us about this year, y'all wore some letters on the back, DK on the back of your helmet. And I know you kind of spoke a little bit on the piece. Can you explain to the viewers and the people who don't know what that was and what that meant to you guys as a team or as a school moving forward, as far as how the school year was, how that affected the school?
Yeah, that it was definitely a tragic thing, but you hear people say all the time, tragedy brings people together, and I think that was the definition of that exactly. Danielle Kemp, she passed away from brain cancer, and it was so hard because it was just so sudden. You know what I'm saying? And that's not anything that you see coming. It was one day. You see her smiling, everybody's heading home from the summer, and next we hear she won't be returning to school, and you just never think things like that will hit so close.
Right.
And like I said, me and Danny Kemp, the most we probably did was smile at each other before she got sick. And I took the time out to reach out to her on several occasions, and it was just mind blowing to me how someone could be so, uplifting, to other people. Like essentially, you don't know if you're going to go to sleep and wake up the next day, and you're talking about being happy for other people. And it was one time I messaged her and asked her how she was feeling, and she was like, my jaws are really sore. And I was like, I'm thinking that's like a symptom of, what she's dealing with. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. And she was telling me it's from her smiling so much. Because, she had people reaching out to her, and her teammates came and visited her, and, stuff like that. How does that not put life into perspective for you? Right. And that's something that I tried to take and resonate throughout my team. Like, at the end of the day, the clock's gonna hit zero for everybody. So don't let that stuff dictate how you live your life or how you go about, your day. You're gonna have struggles, you're gonna have highs, but don't let sports dictate you as a person. And those are just some of the things that helped me, and I started, having genuine joy with not football, but just being around, those guys and feeling the love and stuff like that. So I told people I thought I loved football, but I really love the things that football has provided me in my life. And seeing that situation happen really, really opened my eyes and showed me that's what it was. So.
Right. That's an awesome story, man. So let's transition now to the NFL, to your pro day and stuff like that. Who are you training right now? What are you doing physically and mentally to prepare for your pro day?
I'm training at Revolution Athletics in Long Island, and at first, it was. I really didn't know what was going to happen, because I had got agents in my ear throughout the year, and they were talking to me and really excited. And after the Richmond game, which I'll probably say was probably one of the best games of my career.
The number 2 guys, Richmond. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple agents hit me up and was like, just, do this, do that. And, we'll get the ball rolling as soon as the season's up. And I ended up breaking my foot last game of the year. And like all those guys disappeared. So where I was going to be training, who I was going to be training with, all that stuff ended up going in the air. And I heard about, Justin. I know he had trained a couple local guys. And I went out there, and from day one, I fell in love with him, because he was put me in uncomfortable situations and, showing me, you think that you're this athlete, and then you're looking around and you can't even do some of the simple functional movements that you should be able to do. So he's definitely, he's taken me, and he's molded me into being a better athlete, not just football player. So.
Right.
That's amazing.
Now, let me ask Cam, you spoke about the agencies. What ultimately led you to signing with Aaron and his agency?
Well, I've been, I really wasn't looking around, honestly. I was, after the things that happened with the previous agents, I'm a guy who doesn't really like all the extra. I just want to, go to work and pro day come, let that speak for itself. But I had, I got a couple friends in the league right now, and they're telling me, like, you can't enter that pro day without an agent, because you can't speak for yourself at the end of the day. So, I talked to a couple guys, and the guy that runs the NFL Draft Diamonds account was telling me, he had heard of me, and he felt that I was a high character guy, and it was someone he wanted me to talk to. And me and Aaron shot me a text one night. It was pretty late. And we ended up, having a conversation first night on the phone for about 35, 40 minutes. And we barely spoke about football, and that right there, that made me feel extremely comfortable. He didn't mention my broken foot, to me at all. And that's what everyone was talking about. How you doing? Can you do this? Can you do that? He didn't say anything about that for probably the first 2-3 weeks. So, after having a few conversations with him, I knew right away, like, this is the guy I need to be working with.
Definitely.
Yeah. And mentioning your broken foot, you were right at All-American status before the injury and things like that. What was the motivation to get back in it and pursue this further?
I used to be the guy that, I was undersized, signing day in high school, man, that was probably the hardest day of my life because, I was one of the, premier guys in my class, and we had, I can't even tell me guys when D1 my senior year, and I didn't even, get to sign my name on a piece of paper at all. Division II schools weren't, looking to offer me. D3 schools are talking about, maybe we can get you down here on a visit. And, it was really from that day forward, I was like, I'm going to do it not because, really not because I want to do it, because I'm going to show people if I want to do something, I can do it.
Right.
And, through that, I definitely found love through football, putting in work and seeing it pay off and seeing the things you do come out on the field. And it just taught me a lot of life lessons. So, I really value the game because of that. It's very interconnected with life, and I've come to appreciate that big time. So I won't say it was any specific motivation, but I definitely had some things that burnt the fire under me. So
yeah. So let me ask this on that note. You did mention coming out of school and things like that. Right now, they got you listed at 5'9", roughly 165, 170 pounds.
Hey, that weight's up, man.
So this is what I'm saying. So not saying there are a lot of scouts who probably, because the numbers and the weight things alone, are not too big or too high on it. But going into this pro day, what's the goal for you? What's the one thing you say, I'm coming out to prove this piece? What are you saying? This is what I need to do to make myself known.
I know that 40 is gonna be big, because as you said, I'm an undersized guy, but I really think that my route running is gonna separate me from anyone. And that's I've played, I came in 5'9", buck maybe 58, 60.
Yeah.
And I did what I had to do. I'm strictly an outside receiver. Guys tried to press me early on, get in my face because they felt they could take advantage, and caught 70 balls that year. So, I mean, I definitely, I know there's things that I can improve on, and I'm a sponge. I have no pride when it comes to, improving in the game, and I don't mind looking in the mirror at all. But I think my route running is going to be something that opens, coaches' eyes if it hasn't already. So,
right. So now I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of a scout, of an NFL owner, of a coach. Who is Ray Bolden, and if I take a chance on you, what kind of player am I getting into my organization?
Me as a person, man, I'm just an open-minded, happy, genuine guy. There's not much more to me. I never claim to be perfect. Don't always do the right things by any means, but I try to do right by everybody. And that's something that I really do, take pride in. I try not to affect anybody's life in a negative way. And, because of that, I am, very highly regarded. People enjoy being around me. And that's something that I really, really value, knowing that people genuinely appreciate, my presence.
Definitely.
So, and as far as what you're getting into, your organization as a player, I'm just there to enjoy the game. And I don't know if that's something that, GMs or owners, that's what you're looking for. Guys gonna go out there and just, try to have fun. But, at this point, if you're still playing football, why do anything else,
Yeah.
So I'm just, trying to enjoy the time that I do have, getting to do what I do.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. So in this whole process, we mentioned earlier you've been from Texas, away from your family. College athletes don't, especially in football, you typically on campus year round. go home every now and then. But in this process, what kind of support is your family and those things? Seeing that you don't get to see them that often, what kind of support are they giving you in this?
You know, I kind of probably taking a different approach from most guys preparing, because essentially my family was just happy that I went to college. You know,
Yeah.
I was one of maybe 3, you know, and I'm actually about to be only the second to graduate. So, you know, that was the biggest thing, and I don't think they were expecting me, you know, to be at this point. You know, I figured I would be, but you know, people, you know, have more realistic goals for you than you have for yourself, as it should be. So, I've kind of, I won't say taken a step back from my family, but I haven't really allowed them to leave their fingerprint, you know, on the process. I kind of, you know, I talk to them, you know, pretty much every day, but when they ask me anything about training or you know, where I am, things like that, you know, I tell them, you know, we're not gonna talk about that, because that's just something I really, really want to be honed in for myself. You know, I don't want any outside input if it's not from my trainer or Aaron or someone who's been in these shoes before. Like, I just try not to take that, because you know, you start comparing your situation to other guys' situation. You know, that's just I know that's something you don't want to do.
Right. Now, you talked about the 40 previously. Is there a set number that you want to accomplish at Pro Day for your 40?
I definitely don't want to run lower than a 4.4. I'll say 8. You know, I need to be around that range for sure. So, you know, I've hit that. At this point, we're just trying to be consistent with that. You know, there's some days, you know, my foot's tight or something like that. Not saying that, you know, it's not. I'm healthy, but you know, I'm still recovering in a way. So some days, if I don't do the necessary things, you'll see that, you know, big drop off from my 40. And Justin, my trainer, kind of knows that you didn't do what you needed to do. So I'm like, yeah. But you know, I'm just trying to keep that number consistent. You know, we're up in the amount of times we're running 40s in a day and trying to hover around that same number. So I'm getting pretty confident, you know, with where I am. So
yeah. So being a receiver, especially on the outside, one receiver particularly that's small in stature had success on the outside in Deshaun Jackson in that style. Somebody take a chance on you. Give me the one corner that you look forward to being able to go and say, this is who I want to go against, so I can prove it that I can do it, and I look forward for that opportunity.
In the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's big stuff. Me be talking like that, man.
Come on, give me one that you want to take that challenge. I'll probably say Rose from Minnesota. Okay.
He's a
Rhodes close.
You know, I like how he plays. You know, big time. Not just with the motor, you know, being a bigger corner, but you know, he knows how to get in and out with you. So I love watching when him and AB, you know, match up, because you know, he's right there with AB. AB, you know, he makes some catches. So you know, I definitely, you know, respect his game big time, and I feel if you're out there, you know, beating a guy like that, you definitely belong. So.
Right. Now, speaking about AB, is there a receiver in the league that you pattern your game to?
Oh man, I like the older guys, man. I was big on Steve Smith, man. Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, that's to me, that's my GOAT. You know, I know you got your Jerry Rices and your Randy Mosses, but I really like how Steve Smith did it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of the first of his kind. You know, you got a 5'9" guy playing on the outside, and not just playing, you know, dominating at times, you know, not even with the best quarterback situation. So, I mean, you definitely, you know, you got your Antonio Browns and others, you know, smaller guys, but Steve Smith was the first guy I was watching. So, you know, I'm always go with Steve.
Yeah, play with the passion and everything, every snap.
Exactly.
Man, that's good stuff there. You don't hear too many guys your age talk about the Steve Smiths in the world.
Exactly.
So that's a testament to your character right there, sir. Yes, sir. So let's kind of move forward, shifting this. We want the people to kind of get to know you. So we're gonna kind of shoot some random rapid fire questions at you. You know, just kind of answering off the dome. We want the people to see how you think and what you think about things. Okay.
Gotcha.
So the first question is probably one of the most controversial questions that we ask and people talk about today. Of the two, who's the greatest, MJ or LeBron?
And I'm going MJ, man. MJ. I'm going MJ.
Man.
I feel like it's just that's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? Every guy my age is saying LeBron because we're seeing it firsthand. But
Right.
I don't see how you just throw a guy. He's the first one to do what he did. Like at some point maybe statistically guys are gonna pass that up, but you can't put somebody over the first. That don't make sense.
Okay.
So the student never becomes better than the teacher.
Yeah, you can't do that. No.
Okay.
All right. So on your off time, you got Xbox or you got PS4?
Man, I actually sold my Xbox.
Woo.
Being in this situation, and I know myself because when that 2K come on, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for everything. So
yeah. So who you playing with?
On 2K?
Yeah, who you playing with?
If I'm playing a computer, man, I definitely pick my math because they're struggling, and I like to see them have some sort of success.
Yeah.
I usually roll with like Portland or Boston.
Okay.
Under
the radar teams. Now on the blacktop, what position is your guy?
I'm the point guard, man.
Point
I
guard.
like racking up assists.
You gotta run the point.
I don't do that one-on-one stuff. Y'all got that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Since you said MJ, so I have to ask this. Out of the three in their prime, in their best times of their life, who was the greatest Mike? You got Jordan, Jackson, Tyson.
Oh, man, y'all tripping.
Come on.
I'm going with Michael Jackson. I'm going with Mike.
Oh.
I'm going with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
All right. So speaking about Michael Jackson, we're talking about music. Game day. Who's top 3 in your headphones? Who you got?
Oh, man. I'm unorthodox. I got my Hans Zimmer playing. They don't know about that. I know they don't know about that one.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just straight orchestra music right there.
What was the name again? Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer. From you ever seen the movie Interstellar?
I've seen it.
Okay.
No, Inception.
Inception. Okay.
Okay, yeah. And I got some Adele in there. And I throw some Meek in there too, man.
Okay.
So
I try to stay calm though. I don't like getting riled up in the game. That's not really my approach. So
Okay.
a lot of guys like to get riled up, get themselves worked up. A little bit. So in the rap game, who's the greatest? You got Drake, you got Weezy, you got Jay-Z.
man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and remove Drake. I'm a huge Drake fan, but I consider him more of an artist. He's doing other stuff. So it's between Jay-Z and Wayne. That's cold, man. I'm not gonna let New York change me, man. I'm going with Lil Wayne. I came up here in New York. They really put me on and showed me a little more Jay-Z than I already knew. But I ain't He's a mogul for sure. I respect his mental and all that. But I'm going with Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah, in music, you from Texas now, so I Texas got their own style of everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know that, right? So shout out some of the stuff y'all listen to in Texas that you showed somebody in New York.
I wouldn't even do that because people up here judge me hard, man. They already do. So I wouldn't even do that. I keep that to myself in my room. Honestly, man, New York didn't got to me. I started listening to the music they listen to. I'm ashamed of myself.
What have you picked up since being there? like a type of music or a type of art or an artist that you didn't know of that they introduced you
I,
to?
I knew of them, but I definitely Fab, you know, because everybody say Fab and Kiss.
Fab.
Okay.
I got a dude that say Kiss the greatest rapper in the game, and he meant to why he is. So, you know, I definitely, you know, started checking them out more. But as far as me bringing up from Texas to New York, I wouldn't even try it, man.
So what's big down there? When you go home, I know you have to get back to, because you can't bring East Coast music down to Texas. That's like violation. I went to school with a couple cats from Texas, and people from Texas, they all about Texas. So when you go home, what you wanging? What you got playing in the whip?
My homies back home in Texas, they some wave riders. I ain't gonna lie, man. Everything they listen to all the new stuff. The what's Tatashi? 6ix9ine. They on all that stuff. So whatever's hot is that's what they listening to. I don't vibe with them no more either, man. They the new school cats. I'm still listening to some of the older stuff. So
yeah.
All right, now during the game, you're on the sideline. You got Gatorade or Powerade. What flavor you got?
I go with the water, man. That stuff don't do it for me. I just drink water.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with it. So, NBA Finals. Give it to me. Who you got?
Oh man,
You're a 2K guy, so I want to know.
You already know, man. I'm gonna spice it up. It's gonna be. I'm gonna say Houston and Cleveland.
Okay. We finally got something different.
That's what I'm saying. I think James Paul and them cats. I think they can do something.
So who you got pulling it out?
For James, I want Houston to win it. But for James Harden's, LeBron James' sake, that guy lose. People make it seem like he just it's terrible. It's just straight trash. So
he's gonna get crucified.
Exactly. I would like to see Houston, bring some home. No, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right. So for your last dish, you got seafood and steak. What do you have?
Steak.
What do you
I'm rolling with steak.
What do you have on that plate with the steak?
Man, some cornbread. Some greens. I would say mac and cheese, but I became lactose by the year. I'm still throwing the mac and cheese on there.
Throw it in there anyway. It's the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that A1 sauce on the side, man.
Definitely. A1. A1 over Heinz 57.
Exactly.
So that you mean you in New York, they didn't turn you on to the crabs and all that type of stuff that they do?
That's something they never going to take from me. How I eat. Oh, no, man. Not that one.
Can't give it up.
Exactly.
Hey, no doubt about that. So we gonna get ready to wrap this up. Is there anybody that you want to shout out? Anything you want to say to the people? Hey, the floor is yours, man.
I'm just, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just thankful to be, in the opportunity, in the situation I am, to have the opportunity that I do have. People who have affected my life in a positive way. I mean, I only have to give a shout out. Those are people I talk to daily, and me saying, who you are, they really know who you are. So, I mean, like I said, I'm just thankful to be doing what I'm doing. I'm thankful to be considered a guy who's even, an NFL caliber type player. So, I mean, I'm just having fun with it, and I always believe, man, you do what you do, and you look up, and you see where you are then. But for the time being, man, I just got my head down trying to work.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, big salute to you, man. We do appreciate the time.
Yes, sir.
For the audience, do you have Instagram, Twitter, and social media so they can follow you?
Oh, yeah. I got an Instagram. It's HEB_Ray. And my Twitter is Parfait_13. PARFAIT_13.
Shoutouts. Go follow the man.
Go follow him. Again, we appreciate my man Ray Bolden, straight from Stony Brook, 2018 NFL draftee. joining us. Once again, this is www.killthatnoise.com. I'm your boy, the Cameron McMath, my man Joe Son. We signing out.